Shocking information. The dark side of Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson's relationship is revealed. Hollywood Reporter, 8 a.m. Monday. A 3,800-word exclusive article was published on the front page with the headline, "Behind the Scenes, Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson, Fake Friendship or Toxic Relationship." In less than 30 minutes, Twitter around the world exploded with the hashtag Jamie Dakota scandal. Forums began sharing snippets, old photos, and moments re-examined in a new light. Questions that no one dared to ask became statements. Were they in love? Were they so hated that they didn't talk behind the scenes? Were they under a non-disclosure agreement? And even more painful was the subheading. A close source from the production confirms, it wasn't a friendship, it was a 5-year psychological battle. The years of pretending. By the time 50 Shades of Grey was released, 2015, Jamie and Dakota were the epitome of chemistry. In interviews, they often spoke fondly of each other as soulmates and the best co-stars ever. But according to the article, that was just the surface. An anonymous source from the production revealed they avoided each other off camera. They didn't share a dressing room, didn't eat together. They were friendly when the cameras were on. The reason? According to this person, Dakota wanted more. Jamie was married, but it wasn't just that, they made each other feel threatened. The competition, the ego, the jealousy. A leaked internal email from the director of the second film was also quoted. Jamie asked to limit unnecessary intimate scenes. He said he was uncomfortable with Dakota's energy. The internet was stunned. The silent agreement, the truth behind the scenes. The most shocking part of the article is the part about an informal agreement between Jamie and Dakota that was pushed by both sides' management teams after the second film. The unspoken agreement between the two was, neither of them would mention the other in a personal context. All interview responses had to be pre-censored. A former PR aide said, "We had to prepare scripted answers for every talk show." If the host asked about the chemistry, Jamie was only allowed to talk about plot and professionalism. If Dakota was asked about a rumor, she had to smile and change the subject to the weather or her dog. It got so bad that Dakota reportedly refused to attend a press conference to promote the third film unless Jamie agreed to sit at least 3 people away from her. None of them wanted to do the third film, the source concluded. They did it for the contract, for the money, and because they didn't want their careers to collapse. A recorded call, the last thing. The article ends with a secretly recorded call made backstage during the filming of the film's promotional poster in 2017. A female voice, believed to be Dakota's, says, "Do you know what it feels like when every time I walk into a room, you act like I'm a threat to your marriage?" A male voice, resembling Jamie's, responds, "I'm scared of you, Dakota. You're a tornado. You make me question every choice I make." The conversation ends in silence. And it has never been heard of by the public, until today. The article was just posted 2 hours ago. Dakota Johnson appeared on Instagram with a black and white photo of her sitting by the window, her eyes looking far away. The short caption, "The truth is painful, but it is also the only medicine that heals the wound. I can't control what other people say, but I can control how I stand up." Immediately, fans were in an uproar. Some defended her, saying she was a victim of the media and fabricated stories. Others questioned her ambiguous attitude. In particular, many news sites quickly dug into the times Dakota avoided questions about Jamie in previous interviews. Jamie Dornan, "Is silence worth 1,000 gold?" While Dakota made a public move, Jamie remained silent. Former fans on Twitter began to split. One side called for respect for privacy, the other side demanded that Jamie speak up, don't let Dakota take all the blame. A source revealed that Jamie is focusing on an independent film project in Europe, away from showbiz events. A former colleague of Jamie shared, "Jamie is the most private person I've ever known. But it seems he can't avoid it this time." From the inside, the hidden corner of insiders. A leaked recording of a closed-door meeting of the 2019 50 Shades crew contained tense content. A makeup artist recalled, "Jamie and Dakota didn't look at each other for 3 hours during filming. They only communicated through their manager and director. Not because they didn't like each other, but because they were afraid that every little gesture would be distorted." Another backstage staff member admitted, "There were times when I saw Dakota crying in the dressing room. She told me that she didn't understand why a relationship had become so cold." These accounts further increased the seriousness of the scandal, causing the public to be confused between reality and lies in the showbiz world. The man behind the exposition, rumors began to spread. A former PR assistant for both sides, who had been fired for unknown reasons, was the one who provided the recordings and internal emails to the press. This source was said to have a personal grudge against Jamie and Dakota for being betrayed and abandoned. Some social networking sites spread the theory that this was a personal revenge war to destroy the image of both. Meanwhile, Jamie and Dakota's management issued a joint statement, "Everything in the article is just speculation and is not accurate. We ask that the parties respect each other's privacy and stop spreading rumors."